have in front of me a 100 watt high bay LED bulb. Now, we're very excited about this product. We've invested a lot of money in bringing in variations of this, but basically the 60 and the 100 watt. And the reason we've done so is we think that the financial savings for companies are going to be huge in terms of changing over from the traditional metal halide or HPS bulbs to using something like this. And we're talking about payback periods in certain applications of much less than a year, sometimes less than 6 months. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to give a demonstration of how we do the change out, the wiring implications, how quick and simple it is to do it, and the payback periods. So let's just look at what the 100 watt is equivalent to. If we compared it directly to a metal halide bulb, which are obviously very, very common in warehouses, it's equivalent of 250 watt. And we're looking at standard prices of electricity. The savings we're getting in terms of usage on a 24-hour cycle would mean that we would have the full repayment of the purchase price of the bulb in 8 months. If we were looking at a CFL equivalent, it'd be using 350 watts. So the payback period there is probably around 5 months. And if we looked at HPS or high pressure sodium, a 400 watt equivalent would be the same here. So in a 24-hour cycle, we'd have our money back within 4 months. Okay, so really impressive in terms of that statistics. What puts off a lot of people is that possibly there'll be a lot of hassle in terms of the changeover and new fittings and things like this, but that's not the case. If we look at the case, we'll say, we're in our own warehouse, we're after changing over from these metal halide bulbs. So this was an Osram, a 250 watt equivalent. So what we're finding here is we're able to change directly over. So the overall length of the bulb here is 290 millimeters. So the reason it's a larger bulb is that it has a fan built in, and also it has all the balun, etc. is built into the bulb itself. So it just means that it can slot directly into the light fitting we had already. There's no modification needed other than what I'm going to demonstrate now in a moment's time. So I'll just hop up for a second. And I'll just come around here, and I'm just going to unscrew the cover here, and I'll just show you what the electrician would need to do when he's changing. He simply bypasses all the balun, etc. here and runs directly down. So all of this is bypassed because that technology is built into the bulb itself. So literally, when we were changing out the warehouse here, it was working out at roughly about 15 minutes per bulb to go up, get the hoist up, change out, bypass, change the bulb and clip in the new one. Okay. If we look at the design of the LED bulb itself, what we'll see here is we have a little hook that comes in it as well, and it just clips the safety thing here. So when we're actually doing the change out, we can actually come along, we can clip this on and hold it onto the frame. If we look at the box that it comes in here, we can see 100 watt is the 400 watt equivalent. It's direct, doing a direct comparison with a HPS bulb. So it's a massive, massive energy saving, at least 50%, but in some cases, depending on what we have already, it is an 80% saving. If we come back, we'll say, and look at our own example here, the number of hours that we're using, all the rest of it, and the fact that we were already using, what we'll say, quite an efficient bulb, a metal halide, we're still looking at a payback period of between, about a year and a half or so in terms of the usage that we have in terms of when we're running the factory. And the life expectancy on it, it comes with a minimum 3-year warranty. That's 24 hours a day running. So between 35,000 up to 50,000 hours is what we're expecting it to last, and you can get it with a 5-year warranty if you wish. In terms of the chipset we've used on it, this is the key thing. We've gone for Epistar, so we went directly out to the factory in Taiwan, met with the various things in terms of representatives of Manhattan Lights, and they just came along and just came to a design that we really feel would fit into what people's requirements are. If we looked, we'll say, at where we were in terms of the 100 watt bulb, where we're using that is in, we're having suspended at a height of about 8.5 meters, and it's covering our packing areas, our customer reception areas inside the warehouse. And we're using the 60 watt equivalents on the aisleways, things like that. We're finding it really good in terms of light quality, things like that. What I'm going to do here is actually, I'm just going to plug this in here quickly. We'll give a demonstration, we'll knock off our lights. And just to give you an idea of the crispness of the light here. So we'll just lift this up. So you can see it's incredibly easy to work with sort of white light. We'll just drop that down, knock the lights back on there, right? And So some of the other advantages of it in terms of, obviously, we're going to have a very low maintenance cost because we need to change the bulbs so rarely, apart from the energy savings. Also, when we hit the light switch, it's instantaneous. There's no warming up like you would have with alternative bulbs. And then they don't have the problem, we'll say, where the bulb gets warm, as in the case of metal halide. If you knock it off, you can't turn it back on maybe for 3 or 4 minutes. It's instantaneous all the time. So I really think this will be a huge success in the market. And the confidence that we have in the product is by the fact that a huge brand name like Manhattan has come on board in terms of the development of these, because we went to them initially with the idea of developing these bulbs. And then the second thing about it is that the extended warranty period we're giving on it, it really is financially a no-brainer, particularly for guys who are running their warehouse lights for extended periods. Payback period is extremely quick. In some cases, could potentially get a multiple payback within a single year. So that's it anyway, an overview of the 100 watt high bay LED bulbs available on freetv.ie.